Hello, everyone. My name is Anna, and today, with my colleague Vasil, we'll show you how to speed up your site using the Speculation Rules API. Firstly, we'll cover a little bit of background about the API itself, and then we'll move on to the practical setup. The Speculation Rules API is a tool from Google that helps websites not only load faster, but even instantly. It does this by allowing the browser to guess what page the user will click on next and preload it in the background. This significantly cuts down on the wait time, so when the visitor navigates to the page, it appears almost instantly. Naturally, this makes the browsing experience on your site much smoother and quicker. Imagine it as having your coffee brewed and ready to go before you even hit the power button on the coffee maker. That's the level of seamless experience you can deliver to your visitors. Something critical to mention here is that in contrast to the typical prefetching that targets individual resource files, the Speculation Rules API works on the entire web page. So this makes it especially useful for multi-page applications. And conversely, if your site is a single-page app, you'll see limited value in implementing it. Another key detail is that the API is supported by all Chromium-based browsers. So that includes Chrome, Edge, and Opera and their Android versions. The API can be implemented using pre-rendering and prefetching strategies. Prefetching loads the page's HTML and other key resources in advance, so when the user clicks on the page, the browser doesn't need to load them again. Pre-rendering goes a step further by fully loading and rendering the page, so when the users navigate to it, it's just instantly served to them. So let's talk a little bit more about prefetching. As we mentioned already, it speeds up your site by preloading and storing resources so they're ready for faster access. Prefetching is ideal for boosting performance without heavy resource usage. It can be triggered through interactions like hovering over links, scrolling, or other predefined rules. It's a practical alternative to full pre-rendering as it provides a moderate boost in loading time while keeping low resource usage. This makes it especially useful for sites with predictable navigation patterns where full pre-rendering isn't essential. Now, let's focus on pre-rendering. This strategy takes things even further by fully loading and rendering a page in the background. So when the user clicks on that page, it just shows up instantly without any extra delays. With pre-rendering, there's also zero time to first byte. Since everything's already processed, there's no delay from the server, just a smooth and fast experience. Pre-rendering is perfect for high interaction pages like e-commerce stores, SaaS applications, and sites with rich animations. However, caution is needed here, as it uses more browser resources, so it needs careful setup to avoid wasting resources on pages that users may never visit. So using the Speculation Rules API is a game changer in speed optimization. Because pages are loaded significantly faster with speculation rules, this directly translates into improved scores on the Core Web Vitals matrix. We know that speed is critical for user experience and conversions. We can even see it here in the graph. There is 50% increase in visitor drop-off when page load times jump from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Further, when pages show up instantly, people stay on your site longer. There's no waiting, so users feel more encouraged to keep on clicking, exploring, and engaging with your content. Also, fast loading times mean less friction for users. When everything is ready right as they click, they're more likely to actually complete the actions we set out for them, whether that's filling out a form, making a purchase, or signing up for your product. If you provide a fast and seamless browsing experience, people will want to come back and do business with you again. So, in that way, it builds up trust and loyalty. And lastly, we know that Google rewards fast websites with better rankings. By using the Speculation Rules API, you speed up your site and you are more likely to appear higher in search results. This means more people can find and visit your website. Of course, there are some challenges with using the Speculation Rules API, and the first one is resource consumption. Pre-rendering is powerful, but it's also resource heavy. When we pre-render a page, we're fully loading and rendering it in the background, so we are using significant amount of bandwidth, memory, and CPU. If users don't end up visiting those pages, we've used up those resources for no reasons. So while pre-rendering creates a faster experience, it's essential to be selective about which pages to load in advance to avoid unnecessary resource use. Another thing to consider when implementing speculative loading is the complex rule setup. Setting up effective rules for speculative loading isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. It requires careful planning and very good understanding of how your users typically navigate your website. The goal is to predict the next likely page, and getting that right relies in really digging into understanding your visitors' behavior. The more thought we put into these rules, the better the performance and resource efficiencies will be. And finally, to get the most out of pre-rendering, regular testing is essential. User behavior can change over time, and what worked before may not be working anymore. So constant monitoring and testing is needed to ensure the setup is still effective, giving us the performance boost we are expecting. It's ongoing work, but it pays off by keeping the site optimized and responsive. So, if you're looking for an easy way to overcome these challenges and take full advantage of speculation rules, Navigation AI might be the product for you. Navigation AI builds on speculative loading, but it makes the process more efficient and much more accurate. Because instead of guessing, it uses advanced AI data models and real-time user behavior to predict where users are likely to click on next. This means it only preloads pages that actually matter, saving resources and delivering instant experiences continuously. This means it only preloads the pages that actually matter, saving resources and delivering constant instant experience. What's even better is that it keeps learning and adapting to changes on your website's content and how users interact with it. So browsing stays smooth and responsive as your site grows and changes. And here you can see some of the results that one of our Shopify users achieves with Navigation AI. Their largest contentful pain score on optimized pages is improved with almost 70%, and notably 97% improvement is observed in time to first byte. Also, there's 50% improvement in their cumulative layout shift and interaction to next pain scores, which are the other two critical core web vitals metrics that Google tracks. And in terms of business results, they enjoy 8.2% increase in page engagement on optimized navigation and 3.5% increase in scroll depth on those same pages. Finally, almost 82% less visitors exit the page due to slow speed thanks to Navigation AI. Now, on to the more practical side of things with my colleague Vasil, who will be showing you how to set up Speculation Rules API manually on your website.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Annie, for the great introduction of the topic for today, the Speculation Rules API. Let's jump right into the fun part and show our friends how it can be done manually on any website. So, we have decided to apply it on Amazon.com for today because they have not yet adopted this, and we'll do that for them. For the demonstration, we'll utilize this extension called resource override, and it will basically overwrite a small part of the resources on the page for us. So let's double check if they use any speculative loading. And as we can see, they do not. Under the application tab in the DevTools and going to speculative loads, here you can see that none are detected. So let's change that for them. Here we can see the snippet which I have prepared for you, which will basically do what we need to do. Here we instruct the browser to do a pre-render or prefetch. Here we instructed which URLs to be pre-rendered or prefetched. In our case, we will pre-render every URL that we spot on the page. The eagerness we have set to moderate, which will basically trigger the speculative loading event for any URL that we have hovered over for over 200 milliseconds. So let's activate it and see what happens. Now, upon refreshing the page, you can see that lots of speculations were initiated but not triggered. Why is that? In our case, we load this in the backend, but we do nothing. Here you can see that my hover actually triggered one pre-render. Let's sort them like that and see what can be done further. Let's say you want to go to shop Black Friday deals. Here you can see that my hover actually activated another pre-render. And what that means is that if we now navigate to it, you will see that instant behavior. Now, let's throttle the connection to, let's say, slow 4G. Refresh here to see that everything is slower. And let's try to, once again, pre-render a page. Here, this Betcher Sherpa Fleece Throw blanket. If we navigate to it, you see almost instantaneous with the great LCP navigation. So let's try that again, right? Let's go to today's deals. Here you can see it is ready. If we navigate, it's greatly fast. What further can be done with Speculation Rules API is that you can define the URLs that want to be pre-rendered specifically. You don't have to pre-render all of the resources. You don't have to do anything at all. Here, you also see that you don't have to specify any eagerness because these URLs will be pre-rendered no matter what you do. Another example for fine-tuning is this one. Here, you can see that once again we try to pre-render, but here we have extra steps. Once again will pre-render all of the pages spotted on the current page, but will not pre-render admin or whatever you put in here. And also, if we have specific selectors, for example, do not pre-render, they won't be pre-rendered as well. So this gives us a great advantage when we want to apply it, but still skip some parts which are sensitive, like add to cart or checkout pages. I believe that sums it all, guys. Feel free to test it out on your end. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments.